ask the next question?
Or are you too busy coughing?
Well, I get the plague.
All right.
Oh,
okay. Well.
No, I'm very much video games.
Cool.
I just wanted to ask, do you see maybe doing some more work in video games?
Oh, I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. I mean, these days that's more my bread and butter. That's mostly what I do. As much as I appreciated voicing Optimus Prime, and as much as I hope that they do 10 or 12 different movies, and hopefully I'll be able to step back into the role, villains are fun. Villains are fun. Villains are the best. The shirt I'm wearing actually is was given to me by Warner Brothers after the release of Justice League Heroes, which I worked on, where I got the chance to play Gorilla Grodd. So that was a lot of fun, playing a character that I remembered from my youth, from the Justice League cartoons. That was a real big kick in the pants, And then, of course, they gave me a copy of the game, and I took it and played it for a little bit and kicked my own ass. That was a lot of fun, it's really, with the exception of the very end of the session, which inevitably always ends with, okay, let me have you get punched 5 times. Okay, it's a soft punch, now a medium punch, now a hard punch. Now you're punching somebody hard, harder, really hard. Okay, jump. Don't land, jump higher, jump longer, jump farther, and you've got to interpret that and really make it work. That's always at the end of the session. So you've used your voice, you've done all the acting, now it's time to just rip your throat right out of your head. Yeah.
Yeah, I always find those jump sounds and those punch sounds are just the weirdest human vocalizations ever in a game.
It's just pretty much...
Yes.
Yeah, it's but it's always fun because I'm always in there going, all right, jump, land. I mean, you want to add a little physicality to it, but I would say I'm very happy that they don't. I'm very happy that they don't have video cameras in some of those sessions. I think some of those tapes might go for big money.
You said it was interesting playing a character that you knew from your childhood, in the Justice League.
Yeah.
But you've also been in Transformers, obviously,
right,
and the Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. Sort of, shows that people my age sort of grew up
Sure.
with. Have you ever had sort of reactions from the fans, negatively or otherwise?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody has negative reactions. I mean, Lord of the Rings was a fantastic film adaptation. You can go on the internet and find plenty of people who complained about it. Nothing is universally loved. No one is universally loved. And as soon as you can accept that as a human being in your life, you'll be much, much happier. And understand, part of it for me is, like when I stepped into the role of Optimus Prime, I mean, I have the utmost respect for Peter Cullen. He's I've never met him, but by everything I've ever heard, very nice gentleman, very upstanding citizen, all-around good guy, and a very talented actor. So I was honored to step into the role, and I didn't want to do any disservice to what he had already done. And there were people on the internet that up till that point, I was best known as playing Hawkmon on Digimon. And he had a different sort of a voice. And so people were sort of afraid that it was going to be Optimus Prime transform. I'll kick your Decepticon butt. Roll out. And I just, they didn't realize that I'm an actor. I'm versatile. And so I took that as a challenge. So I didn't mind that they hated me beforehand. And yes, if you go on the internet, there are plenty of people who say it's Peter Cullen or nothing. They'll wax rhapsodically about some of the other actors, or they'll say nice things about me and bad things about somebody else, and it's just, we're all different. We all bring different things to the role. There were I loved the new Casino Royale. I thought Daniel Craig was great, and there were a lot of people that didn't. Didn't bother me, didn't stop me. I went and saw the movie anyway. So, I mean, it's an unfortunate thing about the human animal, is we don't brag about being happy. If you go to a restaurant and you really enjoy yourself, you don't go and tell 12 friends that you had a really great meal. But on the other hand, if you go out and get bad service or a bad meal, you'll tell 150 people. And people are like that with the internet. So people will go to a convention and they'll have a good time meeting you, getting your autograph, telling you a joke or listening to a joke or sharing a moment, and they go home and go on with their lives. And there's nothing wrong with that. But unfortunately, there are the 1, 2, or 3 different people that go on the internet and just post, oh, he was mean to me, not realizing maybe I was running late for a panel and needed to get somewhere, or like, for instance, when I first found out that I was not going to be continuing to play Optimus Prime, it was in front of 150 Transformer fans by having them show the premiere episode of Transformers Armada.
Ouch.
Nobody told my agent, nobody told me, I had no idea what was going on, but people didn't take the time to think, oh, that must be a little rough. That must be a little awkward. No. And, that's okay. I don't need anybody else to look out after me. I'm taking care of myself just fine. But every now and then, as a human being, when you want to be a little harsh, maybe you ought to take a step back and think about who the person is on the other side.
Yeah.
And that when these people who are at Armageddon, these world famous, people, whether it's Adam West or it's Connor Trinneer or it's John Wesley Shipp. I mean, sometimes people can have a bad day. Sometimes they can have a great day. But remember, they're human beings. They're actors. We've all been lucky enough to fall into some great opportunities. And everyone that I've met here, all the guests, are incredibly down to earth and very magnanimous and really understand the gift that they were given, within their career. And I see how they act with fans, and they basically treat everybody with the golden rule. How I deal with fans the way I wish my heroes would deal with me. And that's why this has been so much fun at Armageddon this weekend, is because all these guests who I admire and whose work I enjoy have been nice people, and that's like, phew.
Awesome. Do you want to wrap it up? Because that's a really nice note to finish on.
Yeah, we know you're busy. Thank you very
Wonderful.
much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Take care of that cough.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time.